So yes, believe it or not, I was a tattoo artist. I'm gonna get into it for this video. So yes, I was a tattoo artist, which is unbelievable when I look back now. Now that I have kind of discovered a little bit more about myself personally and who I am and what my passions are, I realized it just did not work for me personally. It didn't really make sense for my lifestyle. And I'm gonna get into it on this video. My experience tattooing, why I stopped tattooing, why I don't really have tattoos in the first place, and a little bit about the reality of the tattoo industry as well. So yes, I tattooed. I believe I was doing tattoos professionally working out of a tattoo shop for maybe 4 months. I have been an artist my entire life. I grew up watching the Ink Master shows. I was obsessed with Kat Von D on Miami Ink. I was so into tattoos and the whole art of it, and I still really appreciate the art of tattooing in general. Like I said, I've been an artist my entire life, so when I got into tattooing, it seemed like something that really connected with who I was as a person. When I was a teenager, I wanted to be covered in tattoos. I thought they were the coolest thing ever, and I couldn't wait till I got older to have a tattoo. I do have a couple tattoos, but I don't see myself getting any anytime soon. I'm gonna get a little bit more into that in a little bit, but I'm gonna start off a little bit for you guys with how I got into tattooing and why it didn't really work out for me. So I got started tattooing. First I started lip blushing. If you don't know what lip blushing is, it's basically like a form of permanent makeup, and it's basically like a permanent lipstick tattoo. That's the simplest way I can put it for you guys. I got into doing that. For me at the time, it seemed like something that made sense because I'm very artistic, and it's advertised online as being able to make you a lot of money, and for me that was really appealing. You can be your own boss, you can be an artist at the same time, and you're really able to be creative with it, and I thought that was fantastic. For me, I was like, this makes so much sense. But it's a lot harder than it sounds. I was renting a location for a while. I was paying about $500 a month for my location. I was doing ads online on Instagram. I think I spent a couple grand on advertisements online. To be honest, all in all, I spent about $6,000 in investment in getting my lip blushing and tattoo business started. And that's a lot of money. And I was pretty committed at the beginning, but I got to a point when I was working in that tattoo shop. I actually ended up getting a position at a tattoo shop that was around the corner from where I was renting for lip blushing. At the time, I was wanting to do minimalism and line work tattoos. It hadn't really worked out at the tattoo shop that I was working at. The tattoo artist that I was working for at the time actually sat me down one day. I came into the tattoo shop and he said, listen, I can tell that you are not 100% committed to this work, and that you're not in here every day, and you don't have the passion that it takes to become a tattoo artist. And I honestly did not blame him, because he sensed something that I was not willing to admit for myself. I knew that something about it was not right for me and my values and my morals. So as you guys know, I call myself a little bit hippie. I have gotten so deep into the non-toxic lifestyle, non-toxic living. I'm very passionate about it because it's gotten me from so many negative experiences in my life to recovering from so many health issues. And I fully am committed and believe in a non-toxic lifestyle and living the most with the earth that we can. And so for me at the time, I was slowly realizing and becoming this version of myself, and realized that injecting chemicals and dyes into my body did not align with my personal beliefs. And that was actually at the time I hadn't gotten any more tattoos done. I do have a couple done. I got them when I was in my early 20s, and I'd done a couple on myself. When I was working in the tattoo shop, just little ones. I've done a couple on myself at home as well. And the tattoo artist that I was working for at the time said, like, you need to get more tattoos, like you actually need to look like a tattoo artist. And there was a misconnection between who I was as a person and the career that I had, and he recognized that. And I actually have a lot of respect for him for realizing that in me, and calling me out on it in general. I did really enjoy tattooing. I loved the art of it. But I have a lot of people coming into the shop because I don't have any visible tattoos on my arms at all. And I always had people coming in getting tattoos from me, and they'd be like, you don't have any tattoos. And for a lot of people, they're not really able to trust you as an artist unless you have tattoos, which for me, I wasn't offended by it. I definitely understand that. It makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, but like, it doesn't mean I'm not an artist. It doesn't mean I can't tattoo. It doesn't mean I can't draw, all these things. But I do understand the concept of it, and I really understood the concept of if you are a tattoo artist, you are committed and you are passionate about the art, and if you don't have tattoos yourself, there's something missing there. There's a connection missing. And for me, there was definitely a connection missing because my passion was non-toxic living, and how am I gonna be a tattoo artist every single day and not be willing to do it to myself? I had gotten to a point where I was like, I would love more tattoos. I love it. I think they're beautiful, but I'm not going to do it. Unless one day somebody invents a non-toxic ink, then I'm 100% getting a bunch of tattoos. But until then, for me, my morals did not align with injecting people with toxic inks when I wouldn't do it to myself. So that's kind of why it didn't really work out for me. I ended up just kind of phasing out of tattooing. I'm not one to tell somebody not to get a tattoo. I think that's totally up to people's own discretion. But me personally, it didn't align with me as a career, just based on my own morals. I couldn't see myself doing that every single day for the rest of my life. So that's kind of why I stopped tattooing. Again, like, I love the art and I loved doing it, but it really just didn't align with me and who I was becoming at the time. And so I kind of just slowly phased out of it and don't do it anymore. And I won't get too much into the whole toxicity of inks, but I will add a couple links for you guys. A lot of inks are not backed by FDA, they're not backed by doctors, and they're not backed by long-term data, unfortunately, especially with how popular the tattoo industry has become in the last couple of years. There's no long-term data on any of these inks that we're injecting into our bodies. So for me, it's a huge concern and something that I don't see myself doing personally for quite some time, unless there's more research done what the effects are on our bodies. But of course, as always, no shame to people that have tattoos. Anything when it comes to non-toxic products and non-toxic living, I think it's up to people's own discretion. We are surrounded by toxic products and toxic things every single day in our jobs and in our homes, and it really is up to your own discretion on what you want your exposure to be. And there's only so much we can do at the end of the day. If you want to look wicked and have some sick tattoos, then I say go for it. But for me, it just didn't really work out. Anyways, I think that's all I'm gonna say on this topic. I just thought it was an interesting topic to share with you guys, and a little bit about my past life and past experiences and things that really connect with my passion to non-toxic living and really how committed I am to non-toxic lifestyle. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, definitely hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys around.